Spider-Man Brand New Day is almost here, but before you take your happy ass to go watch this movie, I am going to remind you of exactly who our MCU Spider-Man is and what he went through to get here. We first meet Peter when he's 15 years old. This is in Captain America Civil War. He's wearing a homemade suit. He basically an adult onesie. For 6 months, he's fighting neighborhood crime, returning stolen bikes, shit like that. Tony Stark shows up in Queens, upgrades his tech, gives him this Stark internship, brings him to Germany to fight Captain America and his crew at the airport. What a hell of a mentor. So he's at the airport fighting Cap, fighting Bucky, fighting against Falcon. This 15-year-old kid is holding his own against real Avengers. So Tony Stark, he looks at as his mentor. Tony puts Happy Hogan in charge of him, almost like his manager, which this leads right into Spider-Man Homecoming. Peter got a taste of that superhero life, and now, like any good first hit, he wants more. He's desperate to be an Avenger. He's calling Happy daily. He almost becomes like this boy who cried wolf in a lot of ways. Adrian Toomes, a.k.a. the Vulture, he's doing a little too much with this recovered alien tech from the Battle of New York, the Chitauri shit back in the first Avengers movie. He's made this Vulture suit. He's made all kinds of guns, weapons, selling them on the black market. Peter's trying to balance being a high school kid. He's got friends. He's going after girls. He's crime fighting. And all this shit gets mixed together. His best friend, Ned, becomes his guy in the chair. And of all the girls in the school, Peter ends up going to homecoming with the daughter of Adrian Toomes, the Vulture's daughter, Liz. He splits a whole ferry boat in half, trying to stop Vulture's operation. Iron Man shows up, fixes the mess. The suit he gave him in Civil War, he takes back. Tony tells Peter, if you're nothing without the suit, then you shouldn't have it. Fast forward a little bit, Vulture drops a concrete building on him, which Peter lifts out of. And in this, he realizes that he's a hero with or without the Stark tech. He ends up taking down the Vulture in his little Red Riding Hood outfit. He turns down an official spot in the Avengers along with an upgraded suit from Tony because he thought Tony was testing him by offering this. The next time we see Peter is in Avengers Infinity War. Peter's on his way to school. His spidey senses start going off. There's a giant fucking spaceship in the middle of New York. Peter hops over there. He's fighting with Iron Man. This thing takes off, leaves the planet, and Peter does not hesitate to follow suit. He actually gets the upgraded suit here, the Iron Spider suit. And to make a long story short, they're fighting Thanos. They get their ass whooped. They lose. Thanos snaps, and Peter turns to ash in Tony Stark's arms. 5 years later, Endgame, he blips back into existence. He swings into the biggest war in MCU history. And then he comes back to watch his mentor, Tony, been back for like 10 minutes. And Tony sacrificed himself to save the universe. So now Peter's lost his mentor, lost the guy who was pretty much his father figure at this point in his life. Next time we see Peter Parker, Spider-Man, Far From Home, we're dealing with a traumatized Peter, an exhausted Peter. For some reason, the world expects Peter to be the next Iron Man. Peter's just a grieving kid who wants to go on his school trip to Europe with his boy Ned, the girl he's trying to get with now, MJ, and then this motherfucker Mysterio. He's causing these attacks using drones and holograms and former Stark employees, and then Mysterio swoops in, saves the day, fighting off the fake bad guys. He's doing this road show of his targets Peter's trip. And again, Peter can't just be a high school kid. He has to go be Spider-Man, has to help out. At first, nobody knows Mysterio's behind these attacks. Peter thinks they're all on the same side. Mysterio manipulates the kid, acting as his mentor, to the point where Peter's genius ass does one of the dumbest things he could possibly do at that moment. And he hands the drone guy a set of glasses that Tony Stark left for Peter. These glasses had the AI Edith built in, which controls Tony's satellite weapons system. Basically a bunch of attack drones. Gives them right to the fucking drone guy. As the trip continues, MJ finds out Peter is Spidey. Now they're dating. Not just for that reason. Eventually, Spidey stops the fishbowl hat wearing motherfucker. But Mysterio gets the last laugh. He AI'd some footage before it was popular to frame Peter for the massive drone attack. He sends this shit to J. Jonah Jameson's hating ass. And the movie ends with Jameson releasing this shit, exposing Peter's secret identity to the entire fucking planet. No Way Home picks up right where this thing left off. Peter's life is ruined. He's got legal issues, gets help from an amazing attorney who works nearby, Matt Murdock, but he still has to deal with being a teenager, and now there's no balance between Peter Parker and Spider-Man, which ruins not only his chances, but Ned and MJ's of getting into any college. All three of them get denied by everybody. This is where our genius Peter Parker makes another incredibly dumbass decision. He goes to the Sanctum Sanatorium. He talks Doctor Strange into casting a spell to make the world forget he was Spider-Man, before he even tried to talk to the school, by the way. Mid-spell, Peter, being Peter, interjects. He asks Strange to not have Aunt May, MJ, Ned, and like 12 other people. I don't want Happy. Don't let them forget that I'm Spider-Man. He causes Strange to botch the spell. Multiverse cracks, and for some reason starts bringing people into this universe that knew that Peter Parker was Spider-Man in other universes. Doc Ock, Norman Osborn, the Sandman from the Tobey movies, along with Lizard and Electro from the Garfield movies. Another thing these villains have in common is they all died in their universes. So Peter and Doctor Strange, they capture all these motherfuckers. Peter then injects again as Strange is about to send their dead asses back to the grave. Peter decides he wants to cure these motherfuckers first so they're not evil anymore. He fights Doctor Strange in the mirror dimension, tricks him, realizes this whole thing's just geometry. I'm a math whiz. So he bounces and he attempts to cure these guys of their evil. And of course, one of them betrays him, the Goblin. Goblin betrays Peter, murders Aunt May. Her dying words are where we finally get the MCU's version of, and I feel like they kind of botched this. I think she said, with great power, there must also come great responsibility. But whatever, that we get our moment. Instead of Uncle Ben, it's Aunt May. Now, all of a sudden, Ned knows how to do magic. He's opened some portals. Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, they step through. They help pull Peter out of this murderous rage. He wants to kill Goblin because of what happened. And instead, they all cure these villains. A big old battle on the Statue of Liberty. And they win. They cure everybody. But the multiverse is still cracking in this shit. And Peter then makes the ultimate sacrifice. He forces Doctor Strange to cast a spell. This time, he doesn't interject. He doesn't fuck it up. This spell erases Peter Parker from the memories of everyone on Earth, including MJ, Ned, Happy Hogan, all the Avengers, even Doctor Strange. So at the end of this movie, Peter is entirely alone. Nobody knows who he is. He's got no support. He's got no family. He's got no friends. No Stark Tech. No nanotech armors. No AI assistants. The movie ends with Peter renting a rundown apartment in New York City, listening to police scanners, sewing his own red and blue cloth suit by hand. We in the MCU finally have a street-level, broke-ass Spider-Man, just like we're used to from the comics. And that leads us right into Spider-Man, Brand New Day. We know Punisher's in this, Bruce Banner's in this, Hulk's in this, Sadie Sink's playing somebody. I think it's Jean Grey. I don't know. All I know is Spider-Man Brand New Day is just about here. And I don't know about you, but now I'm ready to go watch this motherfucker.